Everybody, this is Rory McDonald from MacDon and Associates coming to you with the next episode of Tuesdays with Rory. I have a guest in the studio that I'm super pumped to have you guys here for, and this is Justin. Is it Sebra?
Sebra. Just like the animal, but with an S.
I love it. Justin Sebra. You guys have probably seen on my social media accounts recently, got some new hats, some MacDon hats. This is my hat guy, local business owner up in Armada, but he does much more than just make hats, which is why I have him on the podcast. But without any further ado, Mr. Justin Sebra, I will let you tell everybody a little bit about who you are and what you are all about, my friend. Go ahead.
Yeah. So this is my first podcast, so bear with me. We are out in Armada. We're Armade, Michigan, and right now we have about 60 different local small businesses that we work with right in our store. Make some fudge. We do different shows. We travel around with them. And overall, we have built this small little network of small businesses that we want to grow and share because we've got a good group. They are all about helping each other. And that's really what the store was built around, was becoming a hub for small business so that we can all grow and learn together. There's only so many things that an individual can do as compared to a group. You look at all types of different manufacturing through marketing, right? You've got your two main points of your business. That's going to be operational, and that's going to be your marketing. And when it all boils down, that's what business is how you get your product out and then who you're getting your product to.
Mm-hmm.
And what we do down at Armade is we kind of help bridge that gap. We help them get in front of customers at the shows and then kind of learn what it is that they're looking for, right? So we kind of guide them in the right direction. We'll help them with branding. We do printing on site, logo design, and we can really top to bottom help build your business from the ground up if it's something that you're just starting. And then those that have established businesses already, we can help expand your reach. I mean, we work with like 7 different soap makers. We've got woodworkers. We've got people from all around the skill tree, right? And we kind of take that and we ask them what they want to do with it, and we get a wide variety of answers. We go from the stay-at-home mom who wants to just make a couple extra bucks and make some soap, and it's something that they believe in. It works for their kids. The goat milk soap is really good. We've got a couple people doing tallow soap, which is like a little bit totally different than what you can even get in the store. I've yet to see like a tallow based soap, which it's like a natural carrier. It's works really, really well. We've gotten tons of great reviews on it. And we kind of take that idea that this person wants to go with, and we build a brand around it. And we help them grow. There's one, Creations by the Creek. Her name is Lisa Doherty. I've worked with her from the very beginning. She walked in with nothing but crochet stuff and some jewelry and things. And now she does, I don't want to put out too much information about it, but she does close to like $1,500 every month in her tallow soaps. That we've taken from, nothing or an idea that she had. And we've helped her grow. She's in doctor's offices. And I remember, I think it was 3 or 4 years ago, sitting down having a discussion about what her name should be. And then now I look at her and she's got one of the bigger spaces in her store. She's driving a lot of traffic. She's in there every Friday if you guys want to meet her. And have any questions about the tallow soap and how good it is.
To give people a quick idea too, just so that you guys know, is it beef tallow?
It is.
It is beef tallow. So just so that everybody knows, not everybody's a hunter.
That's
like you
true.
and I. Yeah. So tallow is the fat that is within any given animal. Yeah. So in this case, stuff. Right. Yeah. In this case, beef tallow. A lot of times when you hear tallow, a lot of people think deer. There's deer tallow as well. You could probably make soap out of that too, to be honest. I don't know. I'm not the soap
probably
guy.
Not as fatty.
Sure. That's probably true. Yeah. But the natural remedies that he's talking about that exist within these soaps, like this is not just this particular company that you guys are talking about.
This is just one example.
Right. Exactly. And there's woodworking, there's candles within there. There's, fudge, great fudge, and your hats too. Like all of this stuff is in there, which is a really cool place to visit. You guys are right off of Main Street and
right downtown on it's going to be the northeast corner.
Yeah.
Big black banner, got a big support your local artisans.
Yeah.
That was all painted by, an Armada grad.
Right on.
Yeah. Now that was pretty cool little project to work with her on.
Yeah. So this is right down the road from my house. One of my favorite things to do. I'll swing in your guys' shop every now and then because I like to go
get some treats.
Well, get some treats. Yeah. But then also like right next to you guys is the Tiger's Den. So like whenever it is that I'm staying home and I'm working from home, it means I'm going to the Tiger's Den. I'm going to grab coffee there, go grab some fudge, hang out in your guys' shop, grab a hat, do whatever, you know what I mean? And then finish my work day or whatever. But no, one of the things that I've noticed about you and just our conversation, not only today, but the times that we've gotten the chance to meet up together, the times that I've been in your guys' store and just communicating with you or other local business owners or artisans that exist within Armade in Michigan, is your guys, like there's just this authenticity behind we actually care about your business. And this is one of the things, like in the real estate world, you hit the nail on the head here a minute ago. It's a lot easier to do this when you're surrounded by other people.
Yeah.
And that doesn't necessarily mean like for me, it's easier for me to do this when I'm surrounded by other real estate agents. It just is like
at the top of the mountain, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, hey, you don't have to run with me, but like I'm going this direction. I see you're going that way too. Let's just go together. And it's cool to see, but like in a world where like you're not necessarily, it's not all soap that you guys are selling. It's not all hats that you guys are selling. So there's this ability to kind of come along each other, and go, hey, like I'm rooting for you, but I don't know any other way to say it. Like I'm rooting for you and I want to see you be successful and I want to see you grow. And that exists even with you guys, like the coaching aspect that comes from being a part of a community.
One of my weaknesses is I'm extremely transparent.
What's a great thing?
I'm super duper transparent. If you've got a question, if it doesn't matter if it's, you think it's stupid, like ask it. I'll give you my honest to goodness opinion on it. And I get a lot of that from, artists just like, I was playing around with doing a different design or whatever it is. And I'm pretty straight with them. Sometimes I tell them like, I think you should stay in your lane.
Yeah.
Sometimes I tell them, maybe it's a good idea to expand and then it all leads into their final plan, right? Because you're talking about individuals. Not everybody wants to build a multi-million-dollar business.
Right.
They don't have the time to. So there's different advice for a lot of different circumstances.
Right.
And caring about the person is step one.
Yeah.
Because if my goal was to just make $1 million, which eventually I hope to, but like if that was my sole goal, I would be trying to build everybody into this super business, and I would get probably a 99% failure rate.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of drive. It's a lot of effort, but the group that we have in there now and that we've built through kind of that culture that you mentioned of actually, I don't know if I can swear, but actually giving a shit.
Yeah.
About what these people that come into the store is that we got a group that embodies that spirit.
Yeah.
That like, if you walk in the door, they're going to be transparent with you. They're going to abide by the same like mantras that me and Dawn both kind of abide by. And that's like, if you're coming into our store to come in and sell, you've got an idea and you've got enough passion to at least ask.
Right.
And that's the first step.
Yeah.
You know, whether you're just getting started or are established and just trying to expand your reach, like coming in is the first step in growing your business and looking at bigger things.
Right.
And when we get those people, we can kind of, we feed off of their energy as much as they feed off of ours. And usually we have some really good conversations when people walk in and we just want to talk business. It doesn't, they don't even have to really join us. It's just like, I learned from you guys too.
Yeah.
Right. Like I'm not some marketing god. I'm just a guy who wants to try and help the people around me. And so we can all achieve some success.
For sure. I get that. I can definitely understand that. So with your background being, it's in marketing, correct? Where did you go?
I went to Western.
So a degree in marketing. This is I wanted to get into this too, because it's not just in the sales world that marketing is so important. It's your guys' world. You just said it a second ago, like walking into a shop and having a conversation with somebody is a form of marketing.
Oh, absolutely. It's
just not print marketing. It's not, wearable marketing, but it is marketing. And I have this conversation with people all the time where the views of what marketing is and what it's not, and what's productive marketing, right? What's productive marketing versus what's unproductive marketing. Like, for example, it's really easy. I buy your hats. If I buy your hats and they sit in my office, I hate to say this, you're making money, but I wasted money.
Yeah.
I need to use these in a way that's productive, that I'm able to get my brand out there, my name out there. And that might be giving these hats away for free. It might be me wearing one and handing them out. You know what I mean? Like, who knows what that looks like, but you got to do something. Like, it's not just go buy the shirt.
Yeah.
It's use it to your advantage.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then also getting involved in some different things that that exist in the community too. So I'll let you touch on that a little bit more.
Well, I was going to just expand on it a little bit as a little piece of advice for our viewers today. Business is about spending money to make money. And just as you touched on, like, you bought the hats, I made a little bit of money, but that brand and and I know you mentioned you gave them away for the most part, but like, those people are your diehard fans. Yeah. They're asking for them. I saw a couple comment like, "Oh, I want one. And I'm like, better, me as the maker, I'm better make some more quickly. Like, there's some demand there. And but like, those are the types of things that, like, people need help realizing when they come into my store. Some of them can be terrified to spend any money on marketing because they're afraid of the return. And the return is not always monetary, but it always usually comes around. And then knowing what to spend that money on, as you mentioned, was a huge thing. And when these people come in, like, a lot of them have no digital marketing experience. They're not very online focused. Yeah. They're very in person. And that's kind of the niche that we fill because we're a physical store. Like, you can go to Etsy and sell. Personally, I hate Etsy because there's no vetting process, but hey, like, you do you, Etsy. But we can help curb them to what can be some effective marketing for them, especially since they don't have the background to digitally produce stuff, or they don't have a Facebook wherewithal to post every day. Like, they don't have the drive to do that. We can help them figure out what's going to be effective for them based on what their goals are. Yeah. And that's what it really boils down to. Like, right.
It's more of the coaching aspect of that.
Yeah. And spending money on things that are going to be effective. If you're going to a lot of craft shows, you want to be professional and make sure that people are taking you seriously at those craft shows. That's going to be where I tell you to spend your money. Yeah. If you don't like going in front of people, well, then I'm going to tell you that brand building and some digital marketing may be better for you. Build a Facebook and let people come to you. Yeah. And put out a few ads a month. Spend $10 on Facebook to put your thing in front of some other people who may not have seen it otherwise. And if it's good enough, you'll get some reaction.
Right.
And you can take that feedback and grow with it, expand on it, or dump it.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, that's I was going to say too, like, so in the real estate world, which isn't any different from you guys, there's, I was, I think there's more coaches with it. Like it's more public, because I don't feel like you can be a real estate agent now and not be on Facebook and not.
Yeah.
It's the sexy thing to do. Everybody got a real estate license as soon as COVID hit.
Yeah. It's a lot of competition. That's for sure.
It for sure. 100% is. And that's another piece too. Like the competition aspect of it. Like a lot of people look at this and they're like, if you're getting the business and I'm not, I want you to fail. No, stop it. Stop. There's so many people out here and there's so many houses here in Metro Detroit. Like if that's the problem, you've got a much bigger problem on your hands. If the other person succeeding is the problem, you've got a much bigger problem on here, which I'm sure that exists in the soap world and in the hat world and in the wood world. You know what I mean? Like I got to imagine that's a real thing. But one of the things that I was going to ask is extremely competitive. Yeah.
Tumblers. Oh my God.
Really? That's so like this, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All the little designs that they can put on them and stuff.
Yeah. People go nuts for them.
People like almost fist fights in the parking lot because somebody's selling a similar tumbler. Like it's wild.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
One of the things that I share with a lot of the agents that are here at EXP Clinton Township is there's two different ways when it comes to marketing, and I'm an outdoorsman, and so I equate it this way: there's fishing and there's hunting. Fishing is social media. You're going to throw a post out and you're going to hope somebody reacts to it and they come to you, right? Like that. I'm fishing. I'm going to put a hook in the water, and when something bites, I'm going to start reeling. Exactly. Versus I'm going to go out and hunt, meaning I'm going to go out and I'm going to find the business. I'm going to be the one that's walking into Armada, Michigan. What's that?
You're going to track it. You got to do the whole 9 yards.
It's a lot harder.
Scouting.
It's a lot harder, but it has a tendency to be a little bit more rewarding. I don't want to put it that way. I have noticed in my business that has a tendency to be a little bit more rewarding. And then when I come back to camp, I also have a hook in the water. So it's like, it's a mix of these two different things. Exactly. And looking at it from those two perspectives, what are some of the ways for anybody who's listening, let's say that's a small business, that, this might be a really good opportunity. I'm looking through this lens of, this might be a really good opportunity for somebody who is a small business or somebody who loves to support small businesses and would like to eventually have one, to go, hey, I want to continue to pick his brain. Can I come up there and have a cup of coffee with you, grab some fudge at your shop, and we can sit down and talk? But to kind of tee them up for that, anybody who's out there and they're looking in these two different perspectives of going like, hey, I feel like I'm mostly a fisherman, but I feel like I need to be hunting more. Or, hey, I hunt like crazy and I do good at it, but I don't even know the first thing about Facebook and being able to fish that way. What are some like practical, what can you do? So we'll break these into two things.
Yeah.
From the fishing perspective, if somebody's a new business, and I'm saying this as a means of like, what are some of the things that you're sharing with those people? I know you mentioned the Facebook side of things.
Yeah.
What's it look like when it comes to social media? How often would you suggest that somebody's on there and being as present as they can possibly be?
Well, it's very similar to fishing.
Yeah.
Sure. Like you're talking about lines in the water. You can think of every single day as another line in the water, with fresh bait. Right. So, you can talk to Gary, Gary V, about this. He'll tell you to post literally every moment you're awake.
Yeah.
And it really boils down to, one, if you can post every single day of the week, you're not going to be hunting a lot. You're going to be fishing a lot.
Yeah.
And it really boils down to the individual. And then the type of product. For example, yours, you have in real estate, you're going for big game, right? One sale can make your month. When I'm doing the hats, like I need 6 or 7 sales to even come close to being comparable to selling a house, right? So for me, the fishing aspect, having 6 different fish lines in the water, catching 60 bluegill, that'll feed me.
Yeah.
Whereas as you're going for the whale, the shark, the bigger thing, where those types of you have to go out and kind of track those guys. Whereas somebody like me, who my sales are, I make 10 to 15 bucks, maybe a sale. I need to put a bunch of lines in the water. And that means my strategy is going to be much more fishing based, because if I spent my time running around looking for somebody who's going to buy 1,000 hats, I will probably find them faster fishing than I would running around.
Sure.
And that kind of leads into the type of game that you're after, right? And how we go about getting that game, the size of the game, all of it kind of factors into what an effective strategy would be. And the advice that I would give you is look at your margins, make sure you're not overspending on ads if your margins aren't there.
Yeah.
If your margins aren't there, then you need to start building some capital to get your costs down to be able to afford marketing. For example, like if I'm going to sell a bunch of hats every month, I need to have $100 to $200 like set aside, which is, I don't know, like two good hat orders or so of profit set aside to then push out next month to go get the same amount.
Yeah.
And eventually that budget grows, and, I up it to 50 and I get that return of maybe 150 back on that 50.
Yeah.
But if my margins aren't there, I'm spending money to lose money. And one of the biggest things I say, hunting is going to takes a little bit less. It'll take a little bit less consistent capital of like every single month putting into ads or, going into these stores, going out to shows. Those I would all say is fishing.
Yeah.
Whereas as what we're doing right now is kind of more hunting.
Yeah.
Because I'm out here talking to you, like we're going through the motions of building a relationship. That's what hunting is.
Yeah. I would 100% agree. And my thing that I always say to people is like this is in our world, how I equate it, if that makes sense. There's the Facebook of I'm going to throw something out there, and if something bites, great, but I know it's out there. And then there's the side of going like, all right, I'm going to reach out to people as a means of finding a source for referral. So that's another huge piece that you've mentioned too. Like I'll say the Chamber of Commerce piece, so that you brought up, like, hey, yes, there's an aspect of I love Armada, and I want to see Armada grow, and I want to see business grow here in Armada. And that's the reason why this exists. However, I know that the other people that are in this group, they think the exact same way as me. And so my hope is being in this group, if they know somebody who needs hats, they're calling me. I'm hunting as a means of forming that, like you said, forming that relationship so that I can go out and make that happen. So Chamber of Commerce was one way. In terms of the hunting aspect of this now too, are there any other ways that you consider yourself hunting in that sense?
I'm also a chairman on our Armada Education Foundation. That's another fun one. And, getting involved in the schools and some of the other things that gets you involved in people in the local community, right? So like me getting involved in the Education Foundation, there was more than one reason. It was one, they do an amazing job. We give out $30,000 each year to Armada teachers who can spend it. Basically, they write us grants and we grade them and send them out. And it's an amazing little process of what we can help with, and my hope with that is that people recognize that the people that are involved in my store are also involved in the community.
Yeah.
We are giving back. And that's one of the biggest things about small business, especially in your small villages and your small, closer knit communities, is those small businesses are going to give so much more to the community in terms of manpower, which is huge in a small community like Armada. And not so much in the financial side, but in terms of putting effort, supporting those local baseball teams, supporting the local schools, supporting the things that make that community the community.
Yeah.
That's definitely hunting. That's definitely, me and Dawn going out and building these relationships that'll become invaluable as we grow, and then as the artisans in our store grow, because we allow, like, you can be a resident, you can have a business, you can, like, the Chamber of Commerce you can get into.
Yeah.
And most people think they're too small. And it's like, actually, you're one of the only people going in as a soap maker talking to a bunch of realtors who have gifts to give to people who just bought a bunch of houses.
Exactly.
Like, and setting up that relationship, that's hunting. That's finding a hunting ground, so to speak, where you can go and, like, get those referrals direct from, hey, I just sold 3 houses this month. I need 3 gift baskets to drop off.
Yeah.
Like, that's a huge aspect of it. Like, business owners like yourself and some of the more bigger fish hunters, right? They use bait and stuff to help forge those relationships. So, like, those gift baskets, being able to do a little community event where you can have your banner up and get some referrals that way, where you're in the dunk tank or something, and you got little kids throwing balls at you and they're big old Macdon Realty up above.
Yeah.
Like, those kinds of things are some of the things that little small business owners can do, which are fun, engaging, and just they grow a sense of community, and they put you right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And if I had any advice to small business owners, it is, don't think of yourself as too small, because every one of you have big dreams. And if you've got big dreams, you can make big things happen.
Yeah.
And going into a Chamber of Commerce meeting as an individual soap maker is incredibly intimidating, but they've never had a soap maker in their Chamber of Commerce meeting before, and you may find yourself with a whole lot of new opportunities.
Yeah.
Putting yourself out there is huge.
Yeah.
Like, you're a business owner because you're putting yourself out there. If not, you would just have a job.
Right. Yeah. No, that's a good way to put it, man. I'm so thankful that you took the time and we kind of got to spin off a little bit and just talk business here for a minute. I love that aspect of it. Talk the marketing side of things, talk to your guys' heart up there in Armada, Michigan. One of the things too that I wanted to say to all of you guys, we're coming up on the fall. This is the prime time where everybody seems to happen to know where Armada, Michigan is, because of the little cider mill up the road, Blake's Cider Mill. You literally pass this shop on the way. You drive right past it. You might not even know that you drive right past it on the way. Don't drive past it. Park the car, get out, go meet Justin, meet a lot of the other people, the other artisans and small businesses that exist within Armada, Michigan. Have a conversation with the guy. Tell him, hey, man, I saw you on the podcast with Rory. I'm the only person who listens, but I wanted to come in and I wanted to say I listened to it, and I'm thankful for what it is that you're doing. I've got the website scrolling across the bottom of the screen here for you guys too, to go check that out. Any other things that you want to say to everybody? Impart some wisdom before we sign off here.
Always learn. Always continue to learn. Even, if you think yourself a master of Facebook, is going to change next week anyway. If you think yourself a master of your craft, there's always going to be a better way to do it. Keep pushing yourself and keep driving forward, because that's the only way to go.
That's right. I love it. Very thankful for you, man.
Remember to shop local.
It's shop local. That's right. Thankful for you guys. Thanks for checking out today's episode of Tuesdays with Rory. We will catch you next time. Besides that, you all have a very blessed day. We'll see ya.
Peace.